Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup routine. This is more of a glam inspired one. So first of all I just prep my skin with a Nivea moisturiser and now I'm moving on to foundation. The foundation I'm using is the L'Oreal True Match and then the MAC Studio Fix. They're both not my colour, so I just kind of mix it and hope for the best. I can't find my beauty blender here. Oh, and this is just the Real Techniques complexion sponge. It's really good. Featuring my boyfriend in the background there, playing a bit of Xbox. What were you playing?
A bit of Forza, I think.
Oh right, interesting. Just blend it down that double chin. And now that's all done, I'm going to move on to concealer and highlighting. I've just popped my hair back. This is the Soap & Glory Highlighting and Concealer, and I'm pretty much going to put this everywhere. Underneath my eyes, chin, bridge of my nose and the centre of my forehead. I don't particularly like this palette after trying it for the first time. It didn't give as much coverage as I would like, but I'm all about a yellow toned concealer. And again, I'm just blending this all out now and then I'm going to move on to setting everything. So moving on to powder now, and I'm using the Laura, amazing focus there. I'm using the Laura Mercier loose powder and I'm setting underneath my eyes, chin, on my smile lines in particular because I get a lot of creasing there. So if you're after something that will get rid of that, I highly recommend that. But it is very, very drying, so that's something to bear in mind. And now I'm moving on to setting my eyelids ready for eyeshadow, and I'm just using the RCMA No Colour Powder and just dusting that on with a really, really cheap old brush. Okay, so I'm going to move on to brows now, nice and close there for you. You can see my moustache, I think. Just going to use this Tarte pomade. This is about the second time I'm using it. It might be slightly too orange. I normally go for a pencil, but I'm just working this through in feather motions. So I start by sort of drawing a line underneath my brow and then flicking it up. I just find that looks more natural and you can actually see the hairs. And then I work on the arch and then I sort of fill in the front so it doesn't look as sparse. Yeah, they're not that good. For setting my brows in place, this is the Kiko Eyebrow Fibres Mascara. And I'm just combing this through my brows just to set them in place and also lighten them slightly, just because the ends of my hair are blonde and so I want to match that. Oh, for f***ing sake. Now using my Maybelline Brow Drama in the shade Dark Brown, I'm just going to be combing this through the fronts of my brows. I also forgot to clean up with concealer underneath my brows, so you'll notice later on that I did do that. For eyeshadow, I'm using the Soph Does Nails eyeshadow palette from Makeup Revolution, and I'm going to be taking those two colours that I've just shown there and popping that through my crease and a little bit on my outer V. And then you'll see in a minute that I also take the two below shades and work that in just to get that colour intensity that I was after. I'm also making sure that I'm blending quite well here, and I've also not wiped away my under eye powder, just so if there is any fallout I can literally just wipe it away, as you'll see later. Sorry, I didn't show that colour that I'm about to use very well. It's just one of the darker browns in the palette and I'm literally sort of swiping this all over the lid, but I'm going to be popping on a shimmer later, so it doesn't really matter. Just focus it on the crease mainly. Now I'm taking a more red maroony shade in the palette and I'm literally just going to be sticking that all over my lid and then blending it outwards. Now I'm using the Real Techniques eyeshadow brush and just blending that all out. Moving on to the shimmery shades, I'm going to be using the ones that I've pointed to now, and I'm going to be using my finger and literally just swiping this across the lid and then later blending it out. As you can see here, I'm about to take a lighter shade and this is just going to give a little bit of highlight. So I'm just popping that in the centre of the lid, and then I'm also going to take more of a champagne goldy white and then literally dot that and blend it out. And I just think it adds a little bit more dimension. So now I'm just blending that out to make it look a little bit more seamless, and then with the spare on my brush I'm literally just going to take this on the lower lash line just to make it look a little bit more balanced out. Then using the Mercier powder just to swipe away any fallout. Using the Makeup Revolution highlighting palette, I'm going to be taking a mixture of all the shades and just dabbing that in my inner corners, and then later I'm going to pop this on my brow bone just to make it pop a little. For mascara, I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and this is an intense black, and this is literally a holy grail mascara. This is so good. Mine's running out a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to work with, but it still gives a great effect. And again, great. When this does happen, the best thing that you can do is to leave it to dry, because then you can almost scratch it off rather than smearing it around your face. See, back to normal. Lovely. So now I'm looking a bit washed out. It's about time to add some colour. This is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I love the... Okay, cool. As I was saying, I'm just using this brush and I'm just applying this to my cheekbones, the sides of my nose, forehead, and also on my jawline and down the double chin. Now we're going in with the Glow highlighter drops. This is from Topshop, and all I'm going to be doing is dotting this a few times. This isn't actually the shade that I was after, but because my face is quite matte, I'm after a little bit of tackiness to stick to the highlight and make it look a little bit more wet. So I'm putting this in the usual places, on the tops of my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and I think that that's it. Now I'm taking quite a neutral blush. This is an MUA one that I've had for ages in the shade Lolly. And I'm literally just dusting that on my cheeks. I put blush on after highlight just in case you get the line of highlight, and then it helps to buff it up. A well-loved product, as you can probably tell. This is the Makeup Revolution Radiance palette. It's very similar to the MAC Soft and Gentle, but we can't afford those things, so we've got to improvise. I'm just popping this everywhere you can see, on the cheeks, on the forehead, lovely. Moisturising the lips, I'm using the MAC lip conditioner and just applying that with my finger. And then I'm using the Primark lip liner. I don't know the shade, and terribly overlined. I don't know what happened here. So I'm just going to overline them as well as fill them in. And then I also take a lighter colour from MAC in the shade... Hold on. Okay, that was the MAC Naked liner, and I just put that on the centre. Oh, we've already finished. Okay, hurry up. So that's the makeup done. Really hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you give it a dislike if you hated it. Bye!